Future-Proof is sponsored by Equipping Young Adults for Life, inspiring student resilience, championing hope.
Welcome back from the break. Thank you for joining me, Sarah Hopwood. In the first half, you saw me talking about the importance of the core product, which is most expensive, if you like, or costly to you, and then the importance of what we call the product surround. And it's all about customer service. And if you want to have a reputation of providing good customer service, then it's in the product surround area that you need to do most of your work, because the core product, much of it is what we call a given. And literally going into the break, I just said, can you imagine a lawyer as part of their selling tactics say, I'm a very good lawyer, or a brain surgeon saying, I'm a very good brain surgeon? All you would think in your head if you didn't say it is, I bloomin' well hope so, I would expect that. So it's what we call a given. So it's in the product surround, it's the relationship side, it's the added value, it's the stuff that doesn't cost you very much, but it means so much to the people who you want to buy from you. I also said that going halfway through, actually, just saying this isn't just about business. This is about you wanting whatever you want. In order, if you're not getting it, then look at the relationship, look at your communication, because it's in there that you'll be able to certainly have the best chance of getting what you want. If you build good relationships, make sure you are sincere, that you're transparent, that you're not wheeling and dealing, that it's not sort of shadows and things like that. Make sure that you are being authentic, you are trustworthy, and you're not sort of slyly trying to do things behind people's backs or being manipulative. So transparency is really, really important, but that's your core values. What is it that's important to you? Live to your core values and then communicate well. So I want in this second half to say some elements around communication which will help you, because we all prefer to communicate in very many different ways. So there are people who are auditory and they will prefer to hear things. They want to hear the detail. They will be affected by, for example, music in the background. And then you can have visual people, and you can often see those people who prefer to communicate visually. So they want to see it, they want to sometimes to hold it and make a comparison, and they'll use visual language. They'll say, yes, I see what you mean. So listen to words that people are using, and that will indicate to you the preferred communication style that they have. And the other is kinesthetic, and these are people who like to feel things, and it's all about sensory. And I was working with somebody the other day, and she said to me, I'm very, very good at working out people's preferred styles. And she did it very, very quickly, and she looked and she said, you're very kinesthetic. And I said, I am still kinesthetic, but I'm not as kinesthetic as I used to be. So many years ago, a former nurse, a former teacher, working predominantly with women, working with people who were sick and needed care, or young children that needed guidance and protection and all the other stuff, which was obviously very, very kinesthetic, very feeling and very sensory. But since I've been working in the business world for the last 15 years, I've now become much more visual, and I use more visual words, and I often think to the bigger picture up there, and I'll draw information from the picture that is running up above my head, and indeed put information up there as well. So I think you can slightly change. I think you can strengthen different styles depending on not just what you're doing, but it's the people around you as well. You can be influenced by how they are communicating as well. So what I was talking about there, actually I'll write it on here, was that you can have auditory. So these are people who prefer to communicate through sound, so hearing stuff is very important. They will listen, they're good listeners, and they'll ask good questions. And then there are visual communicators, and then there are also kinesthetic. And the thing is here is not just work out what they are, but also work out what you are. And once you know the preferred styles, you then can mirror and match. And I have a diploma in neuro-linguistic programming, and it's about mirroring and matching. And I remember knowing what I wanted, having a goal to go and get there and live it and be it, but I wasn't there yet. So what I did was I mirrored and matched what the people were doing who were where I wanted to go. And it does mean that we have to be good at listening, and I'm one of those. I'm a very good chatter. I'm very good at speaking, and so I have to really discipline myself to make sure that I listen, and I listen effectively. Sometimes, you know, when we think we're listening, we're not, we're just preparing to speak. So I put in tactics to try and help myself listen. And one of the things I do is I take notes, because if I'm writing, then it stops me speaking. And the biggest thing is if I'm writing, I'm listening, and I have to obviously form words when I'm writing. So it stops me preparing to speak as well, which is absolutely crucial. So effective communication is about listening. It is about knowing your preferred styles. It's about knowing the styles that other people have that you want to communicate with. So choose your words, and choose the words that the person you're talking to would prefer to hear. So it's about their needs ahead of your needs, and you'll find that that will increase your ability to communicate exactly what it is that you want to say, exactly the merits of what you're trying to sell. And if you work on the product surround rather than the core product, in other words, work on all the good benefits, if you like, of what people will have if they say yes to you, then you're more likely to have a sale. But Barack Obama also taught everybody quite a big lesson, and this is any information I'm passing on, and that was he was very, very good at avoiding loss. And too often when we try and get what we want, we go into persuasive mode. And what Barack Obama did, and I apparently, as I say, it's not my information, is that he would say, what happens if I don't do this? Or what happens if I don't do that? And sometimes people get so caught up in either what they do want or what they don't want. They don't scenario the outcomes of what the situation will be once that outcome arrives. And it could be that they go, oh my gosh, that would be a nightmare. I think we need to go back and try and get a better or a different result. So it's not just about driving through what you want. It's about working out what will happen if we don't do this, if we don't say yes. And then ask yourself, is that the preferred result? And it may well not be. So you might want to go back and look again. So just for the last couple of minutes, I just want to talk about and we can have this in families, but also in teams at work, is very good leadership is about having a mixed team. So you need a leader, a thinker, a doer, and a carer. And this is very, very good if you're having disharmony in family. Maybe change your role and say, actually, I'm not going to be the leader on this one, I'm going to be the carer. Or I'm not going to be the thinker on this one, I'm going to be the doer. So the summary of that is, and we have it in our family because we are all such strong personalities. If you're all leaders, what will you do? I can vouch for it, you will fight. If you're all thinkers, what do? We all just sit there and think and nothing much gets done. If we're all carers, what do? We say, oh bless, and we're not strategic, and it's just all too soft and fluffy. And if we are all, carers, and if we're all doers, and no one's thinking, no one's leading, and no one's caring, we're just doing, then we're literally running around as if we've, had our heads cut off kind of stuff. We're not being strategic, we're not being careful about what we're doing. There's no rhyme nor reason. Everybody's just running around mad. So we need leaders, thinkers, carers and doers. And just remember that we all have different preferred styles for communication. There is auditory, there's kinesthetic, which is feeling and sensory, and there is, of course, visual. The thing is to ask, what is your preferred style? What is the preferred style of the people or the person that you're talking to? And then what you don't stamp your feet and say, you have to do it my way. You change your communication style to mirror and match theirs, and you're more likely to get what you want.